Hey, guess what? Even though we have fielded more than half a dozen interviews with teams in the Premier League, Serie A, Ligue 1, the Bundesliga, we're still in Turkey. And welcome back, everybody, to episode number 51 of Bottom to the Top. I am Mr. Cellophane. We may still be in Turkey, but we are also still in the Europa League, and I was so excited to get things set up for today's episode, I accidentally clicked ahead. So we are getting right into the action. We are taking on Bayer Leverkusen. We are in Germany. We're probably going to lose, but you know what? It is what it is. Göktuğ Beytekin is going to be in goal. Brian Meyer did suffer an injury in between the last episode and this one. That's one of those things I probably should have mentioned. We've got Anderson, Dojan, Amenda, and Hamza Baran as a back four with Orhan, Dre Siddiqui, and Ali Khan in the midfield. Andriy Shikishi, Yusuf Vinci on the attack along with Badamosi. Badamosi, we were able to add on to our Europa League roster. Nick Morgantini suffering that long-term injury we talked about a few episodes ago. We've finally been able to remove him, add Badamosi in. So just adding that massive 6'6" frame to our front line and our attack hopefully will go a long way as we make I believe this is our first trip to Germany. And it's going to start off with Bayer Leverkusen with the ball. They're in the dark jerseys. We're in the white with black stripes. Esteve playing it ahead for Vitique. In the middle, Gonzalez shot. Göktuğ making a massive save. It will be a corner kick. And 1 minute in, Bayer Leverkusen already on the attack, and they smell blood. Gonzalez to deliver the outswinger. Cleared away by Orhan. Yusuf, though, can't get it past his man, headed back on the goal, and Göktuğ will just roll it out very quickly to Adem Dojan to get things started. Now, since we last spoke, I don't remember if this was after the last episode or in the last episode, but Nottingham Forest did get back in touch with us. We did not get the job. Wolves did come for an interview. I think that did happen during last episode. We've also got Fulham has reached out to us. So I believe that's the fourth Premier League side to say, hey, you should be our new manager. So you know what? Oh my God, Yusuf Vinci almost putting it in. That was very close to that Pedro Porro goal in the FA Cup last week. Just from distance, one that you don't even think is going to go anywhere near the target, and it pops into the far corner. Yeah, except this time he clattered it off the goalpost. Throw in taken by Gonzalez. Played up. He's got Akamak. Tapsoba back for Akamak along the near sideline. Gonzalez once again. He will retreat as he's challenged there by Anderson. Tapsoba once more with it. Yeah, so 4 Premier League teams have now come a call in. 2 have already turned us down in Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. We are hoping to hear back from either Wolves or Fulham at some point before this episode ends. We've got this game against Bayer Leverkusen, and then we're taking on FC Midtjylland, I believe it is. They're currently near the bottom of the Europa League table, so that should be a victory, I sincerely hope. 28 minutes into the match, it's 5-3 shots on goal in favor of Kasımpaşa. We are looking to move forward and do everything that we need to do to get out of this match with points on the table. Currently sitting 5th in the Europa League on 15 points. This is our 7th match. A draw or better keeps us in the top 8 as the first 45 minutes fall by the wayside and there was no scoring. The only notable event even taking place in the match so far is Geronimo Domina picking up a yellow card in minute number 6. Hopefully we can do a little bit more with the second 45 minutes of this match. We're going to start the second half with the same personnel. By the way, the transfer window is open. Not 100% sure if we're going to do any business during this January/February window. We have a 9-point lead over Besiktas right now in the Sport Toto Super League, just a little over halfway through. Another fantastic delivery by Ali Khan. Yankat, was that a save? That sure looked like a save, but They called it a goal kick for Bayer Leverkusen. 12-5 Euro shots on goal. I mean, we are having a very good season. Are there positions we could technically improve on? Yeah, kinda. Maybe looking to get a new player in there. I mean, or a new advanced playmaker, I should say. Ali Khan has been very, very good, but he's getting a little older. He's maxed out his potential. Played in the middle. Badamosi swept away by Karaboué. Ali Khan, though, with it. Yusuf. Badamosi a shot. That one's going to clatter off of the crossbar. And we hit the woodwork yet again. We've done it 3 times in this match so far, and that could very well be the difference. 10 minutes remaining, and we've got some very tired legs out there. Boubacar Traore is going to come in. Yusuf Insi is going to go off, but Badamosi is going to come off. And Mustafa Demirci. Andri Sakishi will be replaced by Suleiman Sabishi. And Ali Khan, Samed Hopash. 4 changes to be made in the 81st minute. Honestly, I mean, as much as I would love to score a goal, getting out of Germany with a point would be absolutely fantastic. 4 minutes added on, a free kick. Adem is going to line it up. He's left-footed. He's looking to send it forward. He's got 7 men up ahead, 2 back on defense, and of course the goalkeeper. Adem delivering, looking for Traore. Can't find him. Suleiman, though, has Mustafa Demirci, and his shot is going to just sail wide. Best opportunity we have had in the last 10 minutes, and it is going to be a 0-0 draw against Bayer Leverkusen, a team that was, frankly, on paper, much better than us, I think. We are ahead of them on the Europa League table, but that really doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, because I think we have been overachieving in this tournament so far. 1 match left to go. We still have a spot in the top 8, and I think we have guaranteed ourselves a spot in the knockouts. Most definitely, at the end of 7 matches, we are on 15 points in 6th place. 25th, which is out of the knockout round, Dinamo Zagreb. Interesting. On 8 points, so there's absolutely no way we could fall off of the table. We are through to the knockout rounds in the Europa League. 1 match left. If we win, and potentially even if we draw, although that gets a little bit iffy with the number of teams that are so close to us. But definitely with a win, we finish top 8 and make it all the way through to the round of 16. And it looks like we're not going to get a chance to get that far, because while we have been waiting for Wolves, and we have not yet heard a peep from them, Fulham have approached Nick Bottom with a 2-year contract to take on the managerial job at Craven Cottage, offering us 28,500 euros per week. That is a weekly wage increase of 22,500 euros. A transfer budget of 45.5 million in place, with a wage bill every week of 2.7 million. Wow, I can't even imagine those numbers. Now, there's only a week left in the transfer window in England, so I'm not sure how much of that we'll be able to spend to improve the team. They want us to develop players using the club's youth system while playing defensively solid, direct, and counter-attacking football. Working within the wage budget, of course. They want us to spend the original transfer budget, which, again, may be difficult with just a week to go. Meanwhile, signing players for a minimum of 4 years, but not signing anybody too old. All to avoid relegation in the Premier League, be competitive in the FA Cup, and reach the latter stages of the EFL Cup for this year. Now, I don't know where they are yet. We'll check in a second. As far as the cups are concerned, moving forward, they would like us to develop the best youth system in the country. They really do have a good youth setup already, which is a welcome change, while working toward a Premier League top half finish for the next couple of years before eventually recording a top half finish in the 2031-2032 season. We have promised to keep the director of football in place. While we did the interview, we did check, and he's pretty good. With 14 matches left in the Premier League schedule, Fulham is sitting in 17th place, 3 points outside of the relegation zone on 21 points. It'll take a little work to get them moving up, it looks like, but Leicester, Burnley, Luton, all in positions to be relegated this season so far. Can we make hay in the final 14 matches of the year? I hope so. Looks like the Cups aren't going to be a concern for us. Knocked out of the FA Cup in the third round, they met Bournemouth, so that was one of those unfortunate third round all Premier League matchups. In the Carabao Cup, they did make it to the quarterfinal where they met up with Liverpool and ultimately lost. Although it could be a big hill to climb, as Fulham have not won in their last 7 matches in all competitions. Losses to West Ham, Brentford, a draw against relegation candidate Burnley. Back-to-back losses against Bournemouth reminds me of Everton last year, facing them both in the league and in the cup in the same week. Looks like this happened to Fulham this year. Then a 3-2 defeat to Wolves and a 3-0 drubbing at home against Liverpool. Brighton is next. That would be our first match in charge. Some familiar names still with the club. Alex Iwobi, Harry Wilson, Jadon Sancho, who is by far and away their most valuable player. Lucas Nemecha appears to be out on loan to Hamburg. Meanwhile, a product of their youth system, 21-year-old James Adade appears to be their top goal scorer with 8 goals in 7 starts, 24 overall appearances this season in the Premier League. So we're going to talk to them. We knew that our time in Turkey was coming to a close. Here is our chance to get out and make it to the big time. Frankly, we're going to ask for a little bit more money, 30 grand. We're also going to ask for a 3-year contract. We're okay with leaving the relegation wage drop should we get relegated. They've agreed to the money, not to the years. Let's see if we can get that extra year if we drop the money back down. No, so we're going to go back. Let's ask for $32,000 then. They have agreed to that. 2 years, $32,000. We are the new manager at Craven Cottage. We're heading to Fulham in the Premier League. In a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Nick Bottom has left Kasımpaşa to join Fulham. He was named the Super League Manager of the Year in 27-28 and will now be afforded the chance to enhance his reputation by bringing success to his new club. Bottom's going to face pressure to bring immediate success to Craven Cottage, having stepped away from his previous standing to take sole charge, and will need to hit the ground running if he's to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. Gennaro Gattuso was considered to be the favorite for the job, particularly after he was spotted attending an interview with the Cottagers, but they ultimately preferred us. Kasımpaşa is now going to be looking for a new manager. Some guys are going to be coming with us. We were asked to make some changes to the club, so we will see how that all shakes out, see if anybody ends up leaving that we were hoping to retain. David Locklear is our chairperson. Tony Khan, taking a look at him here, will be our director of football. We also have an assistant manager in Adi Vivish. He's pretty good. Our assistant manager in Turkey wasn't as good, and he didn't want to come join us anyway. We are fierce rivals with Chelsea. We're founded back in 1879, currently in 17th place in the Premier League. Pretty much been a yo-yo club. Been stalwarts of the Premier League for most of the time since they came back up in the 2021-22 or 22-23 season, before being relegated 2 years ago, but then came back this year as champions of the championship. $45.5 million in the transfer budget, just under $22.7 million in the wage bill. Capacity of 29,700 at Craven Cottage. Looks like they're currently playing a 5-3-2 system. We'll take a more of an in-depth look in that in our next episode. Tons of loan obligations. Lucas Nemecha being the biggest name on that list. Harvey Vale at Sporting. Also, a couple of players off Wrexham, Blackpool, etc. I bet most of those are just youngsters, judging from their Nugan faces. Harry Wilson is the captain. Once again, we take a look at our objectives for the coming year. And the supporters want us to be competitive against Chelsea and Brentford, and also remain in the Premier League while developing players using our youth system, which is a vision that they share with the board. We are going to schedule a press conference to meet with the media, get things off on the right foot. Every month we're going to meet with backroom staff as we have in the past. And something I just learned about the Premier League and working in England is that staff need work permits as well. So the move of the staff members we wanted to bring with us from Kasımpaşa have all been delayed due to work permit issues. Some moves already in the works. Mukhtar Diakabi coming in on loan from Inter. Looks to be a very solid central defenseman, so I think that's a pretty good move to have. Most of the other moves we're going to be reviewing in the coming episode. But before we dip out, quickly taking a preview of our youth intake, which will be coming up in, I think, March. Fullbacks look pretty good. Center backs, everybody else. Best youth system in the country. Oi. Dynamically, things aren't so bad for a 17th place team, except in the managerial support. I guess they don't like the Yuts that just showed up from Turkey. We've got a lot of work to do. And we are going to get to that hard work in our next episode of Bottom to the Top. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, I have made the decision that I kind of want to see what happens with Kasımpaşa. So in a bonus video that's going to come out either this weekend or the next, we will take a look at how the season ends up playing out if we had stayed. We are at the top of the Sport Toto Super League. We are one win away from making the round of 16 in the Europa League. It could be a very successful year for us. I kind of want to know what happens. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.